Prima di tutto grazie ad AlbumArte, a Cristina Bianchi che ha immediatamente accolto l'idea di ospitare Juliet Jacques, che è comunque qualcosa di diverso da uno spazio di arte contemporanea. È la prima volta che viene a Roma. È stata invitata lo scorso anno al Festival della Letteratura da Daniele Cassandro, che è qui, il Festival internazionale lo scorso anno, ed è il motivo per cui è stato invitato qui. E ringrazio Juliet che è stata sin dall'inizio molto disponibile, NERO, la PC School che ha sostenuto immediatamente il progetto. E vi faccio un attimo una premessa di carattere tecnico. Juliet leggerà due testi. Il primo è un estratto da Trans, a memoir, che è il libro per cui è nota, è pubblicato da Verso nel 2015, di cui parlerà Daniele Cassandro principalmente, e che è stato pubblicato a seguito di una serie di un blog che è uscito su The Guardian dal 2010 fino al 2012 mi sembra, a Transgender Journey. Quindi leggerà un estratto di questo testo. Successivamente leggerà The Woman in the Portrait, commissionato dalla Tate Modern per un evento che ci fu per Transpose nel 2014. Successivamente vedremo un video realizzato da Juliet, che ora si definisce scrittrice, giornalista e filmmaker. E successivamente il testo che è uscito grazie a NERO, tradotto in italiano un paio di giorni fa, Central il Surrealism, verrà performato con una musica di base e vedrete.
Ieri parlavamo con Juliet, ci siamo incontrati, è venuta fuori un'altra cosa interessante secondo me. Perché nel Novecento la scrittura sperimentale è soprattutto femminile? E ci ho provato a pensare, ho pensato a Virginia Woolf, ho pensato alle autrici surrealiste, ho pensato a Gertrude Stein, ho pensato a tutte le persone, le donne, le persone si sono inventate un linguaggio dal niente. Perché? Perché l'uomo è sempre stato il default. La donna deve sempre trovare una voce nuova per raccontarsi. La donna e le persone transgender, cioè la scrittura sperimentale non è un pezzo, è proprio un bisogno per trovare la propria voce in un mondo che nega la tua esistenza. E in questo senso, secondo me, è bello cominciare con Trans, per poi arrivare a parlare di tutti gli altri tipi di scrittura sperimentale che nella sua pratica, sia giornalistica che di fiction, Juliet usa. Quindi io vi lascerei a questo punto alla lettura del brano di Trans.
The Harlequin was behind Woolworths on London Road in Brighton. Corin, my friend who I've gone with, pulled into the car park at the top of the street. It was dank and dark and reeked of piss. I tottered in my heels getting out of the car, having hardly worn them outside. I'd learned how to walk in them in a line from The Simpsons, where Bart tries on Lisa's shoes, saying heel, toe, heel, toe. I found my balance, putting my hand on Corin's shoulder as we approached the stairs onto Providence Place. There were 3 teenage boys drinking lager, looking at us. One gave us a half smile as we passed, and the others didn't seem bothered, but I spread up anyway. "Are you okay?" said Corin. "I'm getting used to people staring at me," I replied. "Evening, ladies," said the doorman, ushering us in. There was a jukebox by the stairs, with a notebook for requests for the DJ, and a handful of people at the bar, which had several lights and mirrors around it. No one looked at us, and I immediately felt relaxed, in a way I never had in Manchester, where I was a student. "I'll get you a drink," I told Corin. A man with a shaved head and piercings, wearing a red shirt and tartan kilt with hairy legs, glanced at me. We went to the mezzanine floor so we could see the stage, dance floor and bar. Before long, he followed us there and came to our table. "Do you mind if I say hello?" he said. "Not at all," replied Corin. "What's your name, darling?" he asked me. "Juliet." "Is this your first time here, Juliet?" "It's her first time anywhere, really," said Corin. But in summer 1932, Shad had another encounter with Heike, almost certainly his last. We know this from another letter to Richard Hulsenbeck, dated 7th of August of that year. Vel Dada, writes Shad. I promised myself I'd never go again, but last night I found myself in the El Dorado. It's been 5 years, but I'd only been there 10 minutes, when who came on stage but Heike from my portrait? She wore this glittering red dress, almost transparent, and I felt scared. As she got down, I called her. She recognised me and tried to run to the bar. I grabbed her wrist. I won't hurt you, I said. He looked at me, trembling. A couple of the inverts came over. I'm fine, she said, and she sat down with me. I thought about when you said that being with her would be the perfect Dadaist gesture because she was so spectacularly ugly in the portrait, but I was stunned at how good she was, just like when we first met. You look incredible, I told her. She thanked me. I can't believe that Marlene is in Hollywood and you're still here. You were right, said Heike, they don't cast freaks. There was silence. Did Dr. Hirschfeld? Dr. Abraham got there with Dora, said Heike, interrupting. I'm fourth in line. Next year, they hope, if things calm down. Which things, I said. Adolf Hitler says that Dr. Hirschfeld is the most dangerous man in Germany, she told me. And if he comes to power, my career is finished, I said. Your career and my life, she shouted. The club, the surgery, the institute, everything. There was silence. I might die on the operating table anyway, like Lily Elber. She took a drawer and a cigarette. Maybe that wouldn't be so bad. You don't need surgery, I told her. You're beautiful as it is. If that's so, she asked, then why did you cover me? It wasn't a mistake. I could tell that from the scar you drew on my face. I was breaking up with Marcella, I told her. I didn't want to hurt her anymore by letting her know I'd been you. Ah, the Count's shameful secret, she said. Your shameful secret.
Reversing the roles of our parents. We sifted through the margins, finding dropouts and drifters, druggies and drinkers, dreamers and thinkers. We lived where we worked, and we worked where we lived. But we had to be in the same place.
I read somewhere that romantic poets used to eat rotten meat before going to bed so they'd have more intense dreams. I can't remember where. I'm always reading things and remembering them, but not where I saw them. Maybe it was that Hugh Sykes-Davis essay where he says that surrealism, rather than being a bold new movement, or even a mixture of Marx and Freud and Dada, was actually a continuation of the English Romantic tradition, Shelley, Byron, Coleridge, but perhaps not. It doesn't matter. I've got surgery. Abnormal dreams are listed as an uncommon side effect. Fewer than 1% of users experience them, but I'm in that minority. I tried everything to shift my depression. Radical politics, gender reassignment, reading, writing, but nothing did. Age 34, with my first book behind me, a memoir which brought catharsis, but also huge anxiety, I felt I had no choice but to try antidepressants. The effect that these would have on me became clear very quickly. Things that once induced panic now felt very easy to deal with, and the futility of life felt like something that I could address with creativity rather than despair. But still, I worried that my mental health issues and my creative impulses were inherently linked. A belief I got from the Romantics with their obsession with the neglected genius, and from the Surrealists with their celebration of convulsive beauty.
Nel libro In Trance lei parla dei suoi primi pezzi giornalistici, dei suoi primi testi cinematografici per la rivista Underground, di cui anche ancora oggi piacerebbe continuare anche molto a scrivere con quello stile, ma al di là di questo conflitto tra appunto scrivere cose diaristiche private e testi più formali, in realtà all'epoca girava il Super 8 e non riusciva, sia per i suoi testi che per altre cose, non aveva molto successo in questo senso, finché appunto non arrivò l'idea di iniziare questo blog sul Guardian, dove ebbe moltissimo successo, e da lì credo sia molto interessante parlare del fatto che lei ha raggiunto appunto notorietà attraverso questo stile diaristico, ma allo stesso tempo ha una fortissima voglia di continuare come critica cinematografica, come giornalista. Quindi no, la prima domanda è dove pensa che questi nuovi lavori come regista la possano portare, o che tipo di contributo stanno avendo invece dal suo lavoro come giornalista? Che tipo di influenza stanno avendo sul suo lavoro come giornalista?
Okay, that's about right. So the film work and my writing work, I've always seen them as, I don't see them as separate necessarily. I mean, obviously they require some different skills, but writing is such an important part of filmmaking. I kind of wanted to be a screenwriter originally, and I wanted to write and make films, feature films when I was younger. The kind of film that we screened tonight is a 10-minute 16mm film. My next film project will be making a series of films in Kiev over the summer. I'm going to be living in Ukraine for 2 months. And making a series of documentaries about life for kind of LGBT and like queer people in Ukraine in this kind of post-Soviet context, but kind of through working with particular artists who are from the LGBT community and making work responding to it and kind of trying to explore a kind of history of queer culture in Ukraine and post-independence Ukraine and also Soviet Ukraine through this filmmaking process. More long-term, I have one feature film I want to make about a socialist politician in Britain, not Jeremy Corbyn, but someone from the early 20th century. This has been a very long-term goal of mine. Whether or not it happens, I don't know. But this interest in film and this interest in filmmaking has always had an influence on my writing. I think a lot of my writing is quite cinematic. I think I could quite easily imagine turning Surgery and Surrealism into a kind of a short film that draws on the surrealist movies that I really love, kind of Buñuel and Salvador Dali and Jodorowsky and other kind of surrealist directors. I also think, a short story like All in the Portrait could very easily be turned into a film, and obviously, draws on this cinematic culture in Germany. There's explicit references to German expressionist film and to Fritz Lang and things. But also, I think just that kind of cross-cutting from scene to scene in that way, and there's lots of very visual imagery in my writing. So a strong interest in film criticism, but also filmmaking, I think, does shape the writing. And my creative practice has these different elements to it, and I think what unites them is a common set of concerns across these different fields, rather than just working in the same medium all the time.